So, Ruth-Ann, there's a lot of promise to AR, and in a retail setting specifically, how will that change the in-store experience with the customer going into a store and having AR available? That must open up new possibilities, but also maybe change the relationship?
Yeah, so it's really interesting. I think that AOR can be used both from an employee experience perspective to lay a good customer service foundation, but then also to change how a customer interacts in stores. So for example, I think that one of the, people have an online experience when they go into store, they've looked at a product, but they don't know where to find it in stores. So you could easily use AOR to find products in stores, so product findability, and see if there's sizes there for you, to get more content about the product that you're looking at. So for certain food types, for example, you could get like more information about recipes around that product, or where the product comes from. In fashion, you could see how you could style it with something else. Maybe in a furniture environment, you could see what like soft furnishings go well with a particular couch, or what cutlery goes well with a particular table, etc. So I think it's really good for extending the types of content that you can see around a product.
Right. Does it not mean that you necessarily don't have to go into the store, though? That you could put the furniture in your own living room on the app there? I mean, what specifically about the in-store environment do you think AR has? You mentioned customer service recently. How would that work?
So from an employee perspective, they could see what's selling well and what's not. Maybe they could overlay statistics on various products and products placements in store. So looking at where the hotspots are, what products you've placed there, how those products have done through conversion, etc. In a really easy way. I think today people are doing that with a lot of gut instinct and sort of understanding, oh, that does well in that particular spot. But if they had AOR, they could do a quick scan of a shelf or a clothes rack and see how many products are doing, and it could do it quickly, and then opens up time for them to actually spend time with the customer and speaking to them.
And so it sounds also like maybe some kind of real-time overlay with something about how something's selling, or maybe when they're with a customer, they could conceivably see the corner of their phone or whatever, that this goes well with this and that.
Exactly.
You
do recommendations, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But I also think for customers, one of the like a fashion perspective could be to, if you try on clothes in a changing room, you could then do an overlay to see what a different color looks like, or maybe you don't want to take off all your clothes and try things on, so you could do a AOR with the clothes on your body. It could be really, really interesting.
Oh wow, that's interesting. How would that change the relationship between a retailer and a customer to have, would it enhance it having this screen, or would they all just be kind of like focused on the screen instead of the kind of personal touch? Would it enhance it, or do you think it takes something away, perhaps?
I think if it's done the right way, it can enhance. I think if it's like everybody heads down looking in their phone, I think that takes away from the whole point of being in a physical environment, right? So I think there's times when it works and times when it doesn't.
Retailers should think about it, but it's not
really
an automatic
thing
that they need to apply immediately.
I think there can be a little bit of buzz, right? And people are really quick to want to do something cool. Whereas if they actually sit down and think about the why are we doing this? What will it give us? How will it increase the customer experience? If they really think about that, I think then you can come up with really cool applications. But if you're just doing it because it's cool and trendy, and suddenly you can, Pokemon Go is there, so suddenly everyone's doing it, if that's your reasoning, then maybe that's not the right thing to do.
I suppose that's true. If it's sort of all about itself, it's two people perhaps, the customer rep and the customer, looking at a device, rather than it's about the people, it's about that relationship, right? It's about the selling relationship and that kind of thing.
So I think mirrors is a good place actually in like changing rooms in fashion environment, because it's a sort of a more, you could use the mirror as the augmented reality piece maybe, because it is a more private moment and it's less about a communicating moment.